Tonight my daughter wanted chicken enchiladas, so I'll show you how to make this easy make-ahead weeknight dinner that really has 3 recipes in one. First we're going to start off by making the shredded chicken. And if you're really short on time, you can also buy a rotisserie chicken and shred that up and add the seasonings to it, and it works out great. But for this video I have the time, so I'm going to show you how I make it in my pressure cooker. I'll be using 3 chicken breasts, and I like to leave them in their tray so that way I don't have to clean another cutting board or plate while I season it. Here I'll be seasoning with salt, cumin, smoked paprika, onion powder, chili powder, garlic powder, and Mexican oregano. And all the ingredients and directions are also listed on my website, which is linked below. And for the oregano, I make sure that I break it up with my fingers first before I add it. I noticed that with the Mexican oregano, I tend to get a few more stick type bits, and so I like to take those out as I go. But also breaking it up with my fingers will also help it blend into the sauce a little bit easier as well. After I have the one side seasoned up, I'll flip them over and season the other side with the same ingredients. And now that those are ready, I'll move them to the side and get out the pressure cooker. And I use it here just for the ease and speed of it. But if you didn't want to use a pressure cooker or didn't have one, you can also simmer it, bake it, grill it. Anything that gets you to cut up chicken at the end is really all that you're looking for here. To start cooking it, I'll turn the setting to sear, and then I'll put a little bit of olive oil or canola oil into the bottom of the pot. And then once it's hot, I'll add them all in and sear each side for about 5 minutes or until I start to get some color that I like on the chicken. And I'll also start to get those little bits in the bottom of the pan too, which I'm looking for. After those have enough color on them, I'll add in a little bit of water to break up the bits on the bottom of the pan. I'll also add in chicken bouillon and some tomato sauce here too. And if you wanted to, you could also add salsa here instead of the tomato sauce, and that works out really great too. And then I'll stir all that together and make sure that it's all mixed well. Then once I have that all brought together, I'll put the lid on and make sure the valve is closed before I switch it over to pressure cooking. And I'll be cooking on high pressure for 10 minutes, and the key here is to use natural release. If you don't, then the chicken has the potential to come out a little bit tough. While the chicken is cooking, I'll make the second recipe in this video, which is for a Salsa Verde that my family likes. It's a pretty simple recipe as well, and it comes together relatively quickly depending on how you want to cook your tomatillos and onion. The first thing that you'll have to do is peel off the husk of the tomatillo, and sometimes there's a little bit that gets stuck on here, and for those I just run it under some water and I should be able to scrape it off with my finger. And then I'll cut them in half, place them on a sheet pan along with half an onion that I've rough chopped, a clove of garlic that I've smashed, and then I'll mix them all together with some oil and salt before I put them into the toaster oven. And in this version I don't have any spice added, but you could easily add some jalapenos or serrano peppers in it to add some heat if you prefer it a little spicy. And I like to cook them here for about 15 minutes at 375 or until I've got some good color on everything. But similar to the chicken, you also have other options here. If you didn't want to cook it in your oven, you could also boil them or put them on the grill. Once those are all done cooking, I'll add them to a blender with some cumin, Mexican oregano, cilantro, lime juice, and salt and pepper until I like where it tastes. And then I'll put it into a jar and set it aside to use later. And I usually have a little bit of extra that I'll put into a little jar, and then I can have some chips and salsa while I make the rest of the dinner. By now the chicken should be ready to shred as well. I like to start with a wooden spoon just to break it up, and then I'll finish breaking it down with tongs and then move it into a container to make it easier to assemble the enchiladas. And the last ingredient we'll need to prep is the cheese that will go inside. And I really love this melting cheese, and I'll just shred it up on my box grater. And now that I have everything prepped, I can start to put it all together. I'd like to start by putting some of the Salsa Verde down in the bottom of the pan, and then I can dip the tortillas in the sauce as I'm rolling them up. And I accidentally bought the wrong size tortillas, but this size ended up working out fine. To assemble them, I add some of the shredded chicken, and then top it with some of the cheese and Salsa Verde. And then I roll them up by tucking the sides in first so that it fits in the pan, and then I finish rolling them up. And I like to make it so that the seam is at the bottom. And then once I have those all rolled up, I'll top it with some more of the Salsa Verde, and then I'll add some more shredded cheese. You could use the same cheese that we used on the inside here as well, but I had some leftover Mexican shredded cheese, and so I'm just going to use that instead. And then they'll go into a 350-degree oven for about 20 to 30 minutes, or until you like the color of the melted cheese on top. And then to serve it, I like a little bit of sour cream and some chopped cilantro, and then I also will end up topping mine with some more of the Salsa Verde too. And for how simple and easy it is to put them together once you have all the ingredients, they usually turn out really great. So I hope you give these a shot and let me know how they turned out if you do, or let me know how you like to make yours. And if you're looking for another video of a make-ahead dinner, check out this video I made for cottage pie. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.